Season 2 drops Fortune's Keep, but also manages to drop the BP50 as well as the Ram-9, which is a 9mm SMG version of the Ram-7, which recently got nerfed. Overall, these guns directly fit into the meta. We'll go ahead and talk a little bit about how they work and recommend some basic builds to start off with. So my master stat sheet isn't updated to reflect the changes that happened today overall, but it gives us kind of a picture of where the meta sits. We know the AMR is pretty good at 576 if you're landing the shots in the right spots. We got the WSP9, they got a slight buff, and then we got the Swarm in its first damage range, and the HRM, which got a range drop off a little bit further. Overall, you can kind of see the meta sits around 570 to 600, 610, and that's a pretty good spot for the close range meta. In terms of the long range meta, we got the Ram that was kind of taking over as the meta option, and it's at around 900 TTK. So that's kind of the important number to remember. Long range is right around 900, close range right around 600. We tested these out live on stream over on Twitch, which is linked near the top of the description if you want to go ahead and check out the VOD and kind of see how we tested these things. But in general, you can kind of see how the close range TTK sits on the BP50, which is great. This kind of aligns it to be a great sniper support, and even the long range TTK, remember we saw around 900-ish, this is still pretty good. You're going to get around an 840 TTK, sometimes 900. It doesn't have a ton of recoil, but it does have one major flaw in my opinion, which is the mag size only being 40. If this was 60, probably slow down a little bit on the close end. They may even nerf this one on the close end eventually, but overall, very solid gun. You just got to be wary of that 45 round mag and not overcommit to gunfights when it comes to long range engagements in Warzone. Then we got the Ram-9, which I think is very competitive, and it's right there with the AMR. Not quite as much range, only goes up to about 10 meters unless you put on a muzzle or a barrel that stretches that out. But overall, pretty good TTKs there. You're going to get a reliable 585 TTK, and I think if you get one headshot, it drops it down to 520, which is pretty broken. I think, especially with that being the neck involved, I think that's going to be a problem. They will probably nerf this one. Enjoy it, but it is very good if you get that one headshot in there, and without that, it's comparable to what the current meta is, which are the guns I just listed. Its second damage drop off, you can still see it goes up to about 650 TTK. Still pretty competitive to a certain extent. And if you can control the recoil, it has the same iron sights as the Ram-7 that we're used to, just a little bit faster fire rate and a little bit less damage. Just a little bit faster fire rate and it only has a 50 round mag, which is perfectly fine for SMGs because you normally get more damage out of the mag when it comes to that. Initial impressions, I played with both of these. I played a match on stream. I got a chance to use them. I used the Bruin quite a bit in that match as well. We got a win in our first Fortune's Keep match. But the main thing is the BP50, it's definitely noticeable. It needs a bigger mag. Unfortunately, it doesn't, but it still kills fast enough to get the job done. So I think overall, very good meta contender. We'll kind of have to see how all the other TTKs and practical use work, because we got that the Stalker, which is a one shot up to about 70 meters. When you attach the long range attachments, you do have to unlock a new one that they added in the suppressor category or muzzle category. And then the SMG is very good. I think overall, this is the build I would use. It's similar to what we have with the Ram, but it's built much more for close range. This one, it struggles heavily with the sprint to fire time. So this one, I built it out pretty good. It has 218 millisecond aim down sight, along with a 171 sprint to fire, which is kind of slow. But I think that's just kind of how the gun's built out. And overall, I like the gun quite a bit. It's gonna have a little bit more visual shake and stuff than we're seeing probably with the normal like Ram. Because it's not built for long range, low recoil. It's built for mobility, good aim down sight, and it kills relatively quick. The other one, again, this one's built more for recoil, and you can kind of see how the attachments are there. Mostly meta. This is a suppressor build. You could actually mitigate some of more recoil by putting on another muzzle attachment. The JAK BFB got heavily nerfed. Cass's Break is still very, very good. If you were a JAK BFB fan, the new one that you'll probably be switching to, and I would recommend, especially after doing more testing after people recommended in the last video, the ZEM 35 compensated flash hider. And one thing I did end up testing is the shortens radar ping. Normal radar ping is 3 seconds. When you fire a weapon, the ping will stay there in that location. It doesn't track you. JAK BFB bumps it up to 4 seconds. This bumps it down to 2.5. So it's slightly shorter ping than we would normally see on a regular ping in there. So that one I would use if you're trying to get rid of some of the recoil but you don't want to use the Jack BFB after the nerf, you can definitely go with this one. Still a very good option to help with the recoil, and you're going to see not moving very much. I always prefer suppressor, so that's kind of what I go with, and you can kind of see how that lays out. I think some of the camos are bugged, but overall, that's kind of the build I'd go with. Appreciate all the support on the content. Thank you for watching. As always, have a great day.